this video is going to be the 2020 version of the step-by-step formula as to how do you gain muscle. And by the way, this doesn't mean that it's a new formula. It simply means we're going to cut away and get rid of all this bullshit that this industry has fed to us, to you, about how to gain muscle. We're going to boil it down to the things that have not changed 100 years back and won't 100 years going forward. To boil it down to those fundamental principles, 3 in specific, and those are going to be responsible for making the majority of your muscle gains over the next weeks, months, and years. So let's get started. What's good, YouTube? It's Coach John back with another video, and if you're new to the channel, I drop weekly fitness content like this, and in fact also lifestyle type content, things that are going to help you get to your fitness, lifestyle, health goals faster and in a more enjoyable way and a sustainable way. So if you're interested in doing that, make sure you hit the subscribe button, notification bell, and the like button while you're at it. Also, I do want to mention that some one-on-one coaching spots have been opened up recently. So if you're interested in working one-on-one with me, what we can do is click down below, apply, and we'll jump on a call, see if we're a good fit to work together to get you to those goals. All right, so like I mentioned, we're boiling this down to 3 different points. Those points are going to be workout, nutrition, and sleep. Now within each point, there's going to be kind of sub-points or steps within each one to make sure that you're maximizing each one of those areas. Again, this is going to be as simple as it gets, and if you follow this, you will see results guaranteed. That's it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. There's no maybe this, maybe that there. No, this is a guarantee to it. Like I said, I want to get rid of all the BS that has been filled all over the internet as to how to actually gain muscle. We're going to boil it down to what really matters here. And at the very end, I'll leave you one specific key you need to make sure that you actually maximize those results and accelerate them. So let's go ahead and get started. First and foremost is weight training, okay? The weights in general. And now this is assuming that you are weight training or looking to weight train, because of course, building muscle does require weight training specific to muscle gain. So this doesn't mean circuit training or cardio-based classes that use weights. Those do not build muscle. You need to go into the gym and lift weights properly. So here's the step-by-step as to how to maximize that. Very first thing is you need to pick your workout split. Okay, I've made countless videos breaking down every type of split you can do. You can check them out right there afterwards as well. But basically what you need to know is pick a way to split up the total amount of volume, total amount of weights you're lifting throughout the week. That could be 3 days a week, 4 days, 5 days, or 6. Those are typically the ranges. So go ahead and pick yours. If you need more help doing so or aren't sure how to split it up, those videos will tell you everything you need to know. Now, the second concept within this concept is prioritizing compound lifts. Look, if you want to get stronger, if you had to pick which one gives you the most bang for your buck, compound exercises, that means multi-joint exercises like bench press, rows, pull-ups, overhead press, squats, deadlifts, lunges. These all work multiple joints at the same time. That is what a compound exercise is, as opposed to, let's say, a bicep curl, tricep push down, lateral raise. These are all single joint exercises, okay? Always prioritize compounds first. Now, the third mini step within this concept is you've got your workout split, you're prioritizing your compound lifts, okay, the ones I mentioned. Now, you need to track your workouts and ensure you're getting stronger week to week, or at least every few weeks as a minimum, okay, ideally every week, to ensure that you are progressing, okay? Progressive overload is the name of the game when it comes to gaining muscle. This means you need to lift more weight over time. A lot of people will ask me, hey, how do I develop the lower pec? Hey, how do I develop the outer head of this? Or how do I develop this quad? Look, if you add 100 pounds to your squat in the next year, your entire quad is going to be massively bigger than it is now. If you add 100 pounds to your bench press over the next year, coupled with the proper nutrition, your chest is going to be a lot bigger. It's just the way it works. So we've got the compounds in your split, track the workouts and progress in them. One of the biggest mistakes that is common and rampant amongst 99.9% of people in the gym is they do not track their workouts. I promise you, after doing this 11 years, knowing that if I had started tracking my workouts much sooner, I would be 10 times further than where I am now. Do not make the mistake I made. So that's it for the weights. That's as basic as it gets. Follow those steps. you will make progress. Obviously, you want to make sure that the form is good too. We don't want to ignore that by any means, but I think that's a given, hopefully. Next up is nutrition, okay? Second concept here. So we covered the workouts. For the nutrition, here are the steps you need to do to make sure that you're seeing muscle gain, because as we know, it's not just enough to lift the weights. You got to make sure you're doing the right stuff outside of the gym to maximize that growth. The very first concept I'll offer you is one that I say endlessly on the channel. Track your calories and macronutrients. Now, can you get away with not tracking them and following your favorite pro bodybuilder's meal plan? Sure, you're gonna gain more fat, or you're not gonna see the results you want. You're not able to tailor it to your body. Instead, here's what I want you to do. I want you to track your food for the next 7 days as accurately and as consistently as you can. From there, you're also gonna track your body weight at the same time to see which way it's moving and how your body's reacting to that nutrition that you're intaking. After 7, even up to 14 days if you'd like, you have an average as to how much you're eating per day. And from there, you now know specifically what your body requires to be where it's at currently. And so you can adjust from there. Now, if you want more ideas or more details as to how to figure out macronutrients, then click this video for macronutrients for muscle gain. That'll help you balance those out a little bit better. But something that you need to understand is it doesn't matter how many meals you have just yet, okay? Sure, when you get super advanced, if you're trying to compete for Mr. Olympia, guess what? It matters how many meals you have. It matters how much, it matters at what times you have them much more. Now, it doesn't matter so much as hitting that overall target does day to day. Now, with that said, once you figure out your total calories, you want to ensure that you reach a caloric surplus, okay? Caloric surplus is simply a fancy way of saying eat more calories than you burn. However, you want to make sure it's a controlled caloric surplus. If you eat too many calories over what you're burning, that's how people get fat. If you eat not enough calories and you're not in a surplus, it's going to be tough to build muscle as quickly as you want to. Okay, so you want to find that balance between building that muscle consistently week to week, but mitigating the fat gain and not getting too fat too quick or at all if possible. And also, just to reiterate here, you want to make sure you're tracking your body weight and tracking measurements. You want to measure the body parts, especially the ones that you want to get bigger. You also want to measure your waist, because again, if you're gaining too much fat, that's going to show up on your waist. You don't want that measurement to be going up too quick, again, if at all, if you can help it. All right, the third concept here is sleep. So sleep is more important than nutrition and workouts combined. Sleep is number one. If you're not getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep, sure, you might see some gains, but it's not sustainable and it's not what you could be seeing, and it's going to run your body into the ground. Trust me, I've been there. In fact, I've made all the mistakes in the book. So with your sleep, minimum 7 hours. If you can get it up closer to 9 because you're lifting weights, that extra deep sleep time is going to help recover the muscle tissues that you've broken down throughout the workouts. Then 7 to 9 hours, anywhere between there is good. The higher you can get closer to 9, the better. Obviously, to optimize this, you want to try to have the same sleep-wake cycles. You want to try to go to sleep at roughly the same time every day and wake up roughly the same time every day. So those overarching concepts with each of those little fundamentals within them is guaranteeing that you see progress unless you don't apply this one key right here. And if you haven't guessed what it is, then you're gonna be like, whoa, fuck, I should have known that. Consistency. Those things that I just mentioned, prioritizing the compounds and getting stronger in them, tracking every workout, okay, working out 3, 4, 5, whichever amount of days you choose per week, tracking your calories, tracking your macros, tracking your body weight, your measurements, eating in that caloric surplus steadily, slowly, constantly, and of course, sleeping 7 to 9 hours a night as often as possible, ideally every night if you want to do as little harm to your body as possible and make as many gains as possible. You need to be doing all these things, all of them, for at least the next few years. Okay, that's what I mean by consistency. If you do it for 2 weeks and you fall off for a few days, it's not consistent, and you're gonna start moving around, things are gonna start fluctuating, it's not gonna be good. You need to be on it non-stop for the next few years. I'm tired of people thinking that consistency is Monday to Friday and then the weekend comes around, you can do whatever you want. No, that's not the mentality we're working with here. If you want to maximize your muscle gain, if you want to guarantee muscle gain, if you don't want to be somebody who's frustrated because they hit a plateau or they don't know what to do and they're not getting stronger, they're not looking better, it's because you're not being consistent with those simple, basic formulas I just outlined for you. So the key will always be that brings it all together and actually fuels that momentum and results is consistency, day in, day out, weeks, months, years. So you'll notice I didn't mention supplements, I didn't mention a specific meal plan, a specific food, a specific exercise, because that's not what muscle gain is about. Anybody that tells you otherwise is 100% either bullshitting you, trying to sell you something, or two, they have no actual idea about it themselves. They haven't done the research themselves. They've done a few curls, saw some results because their genetics maybe are inclined to seeing bicep gains, and hey, I'm gonna start a channel and tell you all about it. I, on the other hand, have been working out for 11 years. I've studied every possible article there is on weightlifting, nutrition. I've gone to school for it. I have done everything. I've been in the lab myself. I've coached thousands of people to successful fat loss and muscle gain results, okay? I'm not saying this to brag. I'm saying this to, again, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, put away with all the bullshit that people are trying to sell you on how to build muscle and give you the raw, hard facts, okay? At the end of the day, if you follow what I laid out in this video and you do so consistently with your head down, focused, nonstop for the next couple of years, you'll be surprised as to how much muscle you gain. And the reason I might sound a little bit more, I don't know, frustrated or passionate in this one is because I just wish that I could have come across this video when I was younger, and I would have saved myself about 6 years of trial and error before finding this out. So with that said, I hope that you enjoyed it. If so, make sure you hit that like button if you haven't yet. Share it with everybody you know who's trying to build muscle, which should be everybody, so that they can finally get on the right path towards their goals. Make sure you also comment below on anything else you'd like to see. Welcome to everybody who's new here, and don't forget to subscribe because I'm dropping content every single week, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. I'm out.